Alright, let's cut to the chase. Have you ever wondered why that one person you can't stop thinking about doesn't seem to be missing you as much as you miss them? Well, here's the brutal truth: everything you've been doing to make them regret losing you, it's all wrong. You might think that constant texting, being available 24/7, or showing how much you care is the way to go. But actually, these actions could be pushing them further away. Yet, it sounds harsh. But the more you push, the more they pull away. The dark secret behind regret. Here's the secret that no one tells you: the more you're in their face, the less they feel your absence. Think about it: if you're always there, always reachable, always the safe option, they'll never have a reason to miss you. You're too predictable. And frankly, that's boring. People crave what they can't have, not what's constantly in their face. So if you want them to regret losing you, you've got to make them feel your absence. This means taking a step back, and I know that's tough, but it's absolutely essential. We've all heard the saying, absence makes the heart grow fonder, right? Well, it's not just a cliche, it's actually rooted in psychology. When someone is used to having you around all the time, they start taking you for granted. They don't even realize what life would be like without you because, well, you're always there. But the moment you create some distance, the moment you stop being their emotional safety net, that's when they start to notice a void. Suddenly, your presence isn't just expected, it's missed. And that's when regret starts to creep in. Now, before you go all in on this strategy, let's make one thing clear. This isn't about playing games or being manipulative. It's about understanding human nature and using that knowledge to create a situation where they begin to value what they've lost. Because let's be real, people often don't appreciate what they have until it's gone. So let's get into how you can make this work for you. Stop over-communicating if you want to win. Here's where most people mess up. They think that by constantly communicating, they're staying relevant, reminding the other person of their importance. But here's the thing: over-communicating has the exact opposite effect. When you're always texting, calling, or checking in, you're basically saying, hey, I'm still here, I'm not going anywhere. And guess what? That takes away the sense of urgency, the fear of loss. That's essential for regret to set in. Think about it: if you're always available, you're subconsciously telling them that your life revolves around them. And if you're not giving them the chance to wonder where you are, what you're doing, or who you're with, they'll never get that nagging feeling of regret creeping in. It's like when you binge watch an entire TV series in one weekend. By the end, you're not left wanting more, you're just done. But if you pace yourself, watch an episode here and there, that's when the anticipation builds. You're left craving the next one, wishing there was more. That's exactly what you want them to feel about you. So, what's the fix? Pull back. Not completely, but just enough to create a little distance. Start living your life like they aren't the center of it, because they shouldn't be. You need to show that you're independent, thriving, and absolutely fine without them. When you do this, two things happen. First, you regain your own power. Second, they start to wonder what's changed. And that curiosity, that uncertainty, is what makes them start thinking about you again. The psychology of desire and regret. Now, let's dive into the psychology behind this. People are attracted to what's scarce and uncertain. When you're always around, there's no mystery, no intrigue, and nothing left to the imagination. But when you become a little less predictable, that's when their mind starts racing. They begin to wonder why you're suddenly not as available, and that's when regret starts to brew. But here's the key: this isn't about playing hard to get in some childish way. This is about genuinely shifting your focus back to yourself. It's about showing not just them but yourself that you're perfectly capable of being happy on your own. You're not sitting around waiting for their call, their text, their validation. You're busy living your life, doing things that make you happy, fulfilled, and confident. Here's where it gets really interesting. When you shift your energy back to yourself, you're not just changing the way they see you, you're changing the way you see yourself. You start to remember all the things that make you amazing, independent of any relationship. And that confidence is magnetic. When they see that you're no longer pining for their attention, that you're thriving on your own, it triggers something deep within them. They start to realize that maybe, just maybe, they've made a mistake. You see, the real game changer here is confidence. When you stop focusing on them and start focusing on yourself, your energy shifts. You go from being the person who's desperate to get them back to being the person they desperately want back. This shift in power is subtle but incredibly effective. And the best part, it's not about manipulating them, it's about empowering yourself. Embrace your own life. This is where the magic happens. Start doing the things you love, the things that make you you. Pursue your passions, hang out with friends, chase your goals. When they see you thriving without them, that's when the regret starts to sink in. Hey, you're no longer the person who's always waiting by the phone. You're someone who's living their best life, and that's incredibly attractive. Now I know this can be easier said than done. When you're still emotionally attached, The idea of pulling back can feel impossible, but trust me on this, distance is your friend. It's the space where you can rediscover who you are outside of the relationship. It's the time you need to heal, to grow, to become the best version of yourself. And when they see that growth, that's when the regret hits them hard. But here's the thing, it's not just about making them regret losing you. It's about finding your own happiness with or without them. Because at the end of the day, your happiness should never depend on someone else. When you start living your life for you, not only do you feel better, but you also become more attractive. You radiate a confidence that draws people in, and that's when they start to miss what they had. The shift in dynamic. Once you make this shift, the dynamic between you and them changes. You're no longer the safe bet, the easy option. Suddenly, they're the ones wondering if they've lost something valuable. They start questioning their decision, doubting whether they made the right call. And that's when they start regretting. But remember, this isn't about playing games or manipulating someone into wanting you back. It's about respecting yourself enough to know that you don't need to chase anyone. It's about becoming the person who attracts others naturally simply by being authentically you. This shift isn't just for them, it's for you. It's about reclaiming your power, your independence, and your sense of self-worth. When you stop focusing on what you've lost and start focusing on what you can gain, everything changes. You start to see that your life is full of possibilities, and that's when you truly start to thrive. And you know what? That's exactly what they'll notice. They'll see the change in you, the confidence, the happiness, and that's when the regret starts to take hold. They'll start to realize that maybe, just maybe, they underestimated you, and that's when the tables turn, making the shift. So how do you make this shift? It starts with small steps. Start by setting boundaries. If you're used to texting them every day, cut it down to once a week. If you're always available to hang out, start making plans that don't involve them. It's not about cutting them off completely, it's about showing them that your world doesn't revolve around them. Next, focus on self-care. Do the things that make you feel good, whether it's hitting the gym, spending time with friends, or pursuing a hobby you've neglected. When you feel good about yourself, that confidence will naturally shine through, and that's incredibly attractive. Finally, be patient. This process takes time and you might not see results overnight, but trust that by focusing on yourself, you're creating a powerful shift in the dynamic. You're no longer the one chasing, you're the one being chased, realizing your worth. This journey isn't just about making someone regret losing you, it's about realizing your own worth. It's about understanding that you don't need to settle for someone who doesn't see your value. When you start living for yourself, you'll attract people who genuinely appreciate you for who you are. And if that person from your past starts to regret their decision, that's just the cherry on top. The bottom line, stop chasing after someone who doesn't see your worth, start living your life for you, and let them come to their own conclusions. Because at the end of the day, the only person you need to make happy is yourself. So if you're tired of feeling like you're the only one putting in effort, it's time to flip the script. Stop chasing, stop being so available, and start living for yourself. Because the truth is, the moment you start focusing on your own happiness is the moment they'll start realizing what they've lost. Remember, this isn't about being manipulative or playing games. It's about recognizing your own value and refusing to settle for anything less. When you shift your focus from them to you, you become the person they can't stop thinking about. And that's when the real magic happens. Alright, that's it for today. If you're ready to dive deeper into the art of attraction and discover more game-changing strategies, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Now go out there and show them what they're missing.